Okay. Back at it again. So I did do a little bit of tweaking since last time. So now things should be a little bit easier, and I shouldn't make such a fool of myself. I'm also trying to remember. I gotta look at my notes. Not that I'm gonna save all my notes or go by all my notes, because there's some things that I didn't think about that I'm just now remembering. But yeah, okay. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna do Liara's dig site, because I enjoy having Liara around.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, I'm glad you were in the area. We've got an emergency situation, and you're the only one I can trust to get the job done.
How can I help, Admiral?
Biotic fanatics have hit a medical research station with a psychotropic drug. The drugs have temporarily driven researchers crazy, and the biotics are effectively using them as human shields.
I'll take the biotics down, Admiral. And I'll try to limit the casualties.
I know you will, Commander. I'm sending you the station coordinates now. Fifth Fleet out.
So that's actually an effect of a mod too, because normally in the vanilla game, Hackett just comes in over the PA, and Shepard just stands there in front of the galaxy map, in front of everyone on the CIC, just having his conversation with Admiral Hackett, which, you know, okay, fair, he's the commander, and this is a super secret stealth ship. But the thing about it is, it's still weird, right? Your commanding officer doesn't take his briefings in front of his subordinates.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
He takes his briefings in private,
I have a
like
difficult
this.
assignment, Commander.
So I love
You're
this
the only one
mod.
I can trust to get it done. There's a criminal leader named Darius in the Skillian Verge who controls most of the raider activity. I'd like you to negotiate a ceasefire with him.
Wouldn't an Alliance negotiator be better suited for this assignment?
Darius won't respect an Alliance negotiator. He built his empire by killing his rivals. But with your very public achievements, you represent a strong image that Darius has to respect. Show him that the Alliance won't back down. Show him he better make peace while he can.
I still think this is a mistake, Admiral.
You're not under my command, but we need you for this job. You're the only one that could get it done right. The meeting will take place on a remote barren planet. I'm transmitting the coordinates now. I'm also transmitting the background for this negotiation. Fifth Fleet out.
Yeah, in the vanilla game, you don't see Admiral Hackett. I think you don't see Admiral Hackett until the Arrival DLC of Mass Effect 2. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the first time you actually see Admiral Hackett's design. Which is another reason why I love this mod, because, you know, you can actually see the Admiral. Crazy as that may seem. There we go. I really shouldn't be doing all this scanning and stuff here. Did I miss Therum in the Athens? I can never remember which
Commander,
system Therum
urgent
is
message
in.
from Alliance Command coming.
And I'm gonna keep getting
I'll patch
these
it through.
because I use
Shepard,
the save editor
this is Admiral
to
Hackett
increase
from
my
Alliance
levels,
Command.
so
We've got a situation here, and you're
it's
the
gonna
only one
keep
that can
giving me
handle
all these side missions, even though they should be sprinkled throughout the game as you level up.
What do you need, Admiral?
There's
So
an
just
Alliance training ground
bear
where we
with me a
test
little bit.
weapons and technology and live
This is
fire
what I actually want to
simulations.
do.
One of the VIs we use to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Just tell me how to stop it, Admiral.
We need you to fight your way through the training ground of the VI core and manually disable it.
Don't worry, Admiral. I'll take that thing out.
I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
However, I will say that mission, the Rogue VI mission, kind of drives me insane. And it drives me insane for one specific reason. That mission is actually the one that you use to specialize your class. Like, you start out as a soldier or a technician or whatever, and then you can specialize. As a soldier, you can either be a shock trooper or a commando. You have to do that mission to do it, because otherwise, I'm gonna show this here. Yes, I've completely cheated to to get all these maxed out. I don't care. I've played this game like 15, 20 times all the way through. I have nothing left to prove. But what I mean to say here is, so you see soldier, right? And you can only get it halfway up, which is 6. Yeah, 6 points into soldier. And you have to do the Rogue VI mission to specialize. So if you made the mistake, I don't even know if it's... Well, I do know it's possible to max your level, but I don't think it's possible to do it before that mission, before you commit to the end game. But if you somehow like played through the entire game and then replayed it again and never did the Luna mission, and you got to level 60, which is the level cap for this, or 30 if you're playing with the new level system, you would never be able to specialize. Which is why I left it at level 55, because to unlock the specializations, you have to do that mission. So I was hoping that that one would come up. So I'm going to do the Liara mission, and then I'm going to just go and do that quick. But, like I said, if it gives you no indication that that mission is actually required to specialize, or even that specialization is a thing on your first playthrough. What the hell? Is it in the Sparta system? I didn't think so. Oh, Gnosis. God, I'm stupid. Therum, there it is. I'm gonna keep bringing these two because, one, I love Garrus. He's awesome. He's like the peak bro. I've said that before, and I'm gonna continue saying it. And I also love Tali, but also because they're the tech specialists, and this mission is almost exclusively synthetic or Geth enemies. So they're actually like the best ones to bring, in my opinion. Like I said, I like them both. And I also like them in that they're the only squad mates to be in all 3 games. Yes, Liara technically counts because you could do the Lair of the Shadow Broker, but as far as regular crew members,
it looks like it's coming from an underground complex
it's
a few blocks
Liara,
away from the
or
drop
it's
zone.
Garrus and Tali. I have a special place in my heart for all those crew members who were in all 3 games. And I know there's a lot of people out there who just absolutely fucking hate the Mako. I am not one of them. I love the Mako. I will die on the Mako team versus Hammerhead team, like Mako team all the way. I don't like the Hammerhead at all. I actually think that the Hammerhead controls worse than the Mako does, even in vanilla ME1. I don't like the Hammerhead at all. And also, it's not incorporated into Mass Effect 2. It's a DLC that has no real effect on the actual story or any place in the actual story. It's all DLC missions. But I love the Mako. I love the design. I love the way it plays. I mean, fight me. Just... I have no problem. Second here. Here.
Trying to knock down the front door seems stupid. Maybe we could find a side window?
You know, the Mako, one of the reasons why I love it is because you can just play peekaboo and take out pretty much any enemy. And this isn't even like an easiest difficulty thing. It is, the Mako is just awesome at taking enemies out from a distance. And I love it. And so when your companions here are saying, you know, you can't attack the front gate directly, you know, go around the side, it's like, I get what you're saying, but I've never really felt like the game made that, you know, super necessary.
On my way.
Oh yeah, this is a mission where I do want helmets. Oh yeah, I also gave Shepard the heavy armor because that's literally what both Shepards are wearing in all of the materials for pretty much every game. Well, for the first game. The second and third, I guess, yeah, they changed the armor completely. But my point is, pretty much all the promotional materials have Shepard wearing heavy armor, male or female.
I'm on my way.
I'm pretty sure I just killed that guy. Yeah. Cool. Even in vanilla Mass Effect, the Mako's turret is just chef's kiss. It's perfect. I don't understand. Like, yes, it handles like the first thing that comes to mind is Drunken Bantha. You know, when you want a Star Wars reference. It doesn't handle great. But you treat it carefully, and it's just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with my makeup. Okay, I'm not helping my case, but still, I love the makeup. I don't think the boost feature was available in the original game. I mean, I played on the Xbox 360 originally, but I don't remember that little boost being a thing originally at all. So that's one nice quality of life improvement from the Legendary Edition. Although I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I was never the greatest gamer. I was just a very enthusiastic gamer. And this was where I learned as a kid that sometimes developers actually know how to stop you from taking a vehicle where they don't want it to go. I'm sure there's a way to glitch it in there. I'm 100% sure there has to be, but I tried a long time to brute force it, to go up those hills on the side, all that stuff, and never actually went. This was a part that did kick my ass as a kid, because I would always hold right here, and I usually wasn't very good at making sure I upgraded my stuff. So, if on the off chance anyone watches this who hasn't played Mass Effect and is interested in playing it, ensure you upgrade before coming here, because that Colossus actually does a lot of damage. Oh, did it glitch? There it is.
All targets down.
got them all, Shepard.
It looks like this cavern formed around the ruin, after it was built.
That's it. There's nothing up here. Because this is where you come out.
I wonder what Liara's looking for. Most Prothean ruins have nothing more than dead instrumentation.
Hello? Could somebody help me? Please? Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Liara Tassoni, I presume.
Thank the goddess. I did not think anyone would come looking for me. Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
How'd you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
I will say, I do like this armor. The heavy armor.
All clear.
Tali, you just said it was all clear. Did you lie to me?
That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
Oh. I got that quick because it has always been the exact same. Like, I always remember AXBY. It's just remembering what the last one is, which is X. AXBYX. Yeah. Why there's a giant freaking mining laser just lying here? Don't know. What's powering it? No clue. Like, did Liara have it? If she did, why? Why did she have a giant mining laser? Why did the Geth have a giant mining laser? None of it makes sense. But it kind of fits in with we're underground in some Prothean ruins, so okay, that sure. So you can buy it. There's a level of verisimilitude there, but It's like, again, one of those things where when you stop and think about it, it's like, why? Don't know. Doesn't matter. But yeah, look at that armor. The armor's so good. I love it.
Oh, how did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We blasted through with the mining laser.
Of course. Yes, that makes sense. Please, get me out of here before more Geth arrive. That button over there should shut down this containment field.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on!
The exact same thing we just took
I
up
still
there.
cannot believe all this.
Well,
Why would the
it's
Geth
right
come
next
after
to it
me?
anyway.
Do you think Benezia's involved?
Saren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. He probably wants you to help him find it.
The conduit, but I don't know.
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
He needs to move faster.
He's flying a ship. I don't think he can... He's not moving at all. The ship is moving. I mean, he's in the ship, so technically he's moving. But he has no real control over that other than thrusters to maximum.
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
We don't have time to deal with this idiot. Charge!
I like your attitude.
You know, they give him some lines that actually, like, imply a personality, and then you kill him. And he's done. Forever. Doesn't even come back like Darth Brandon in Knights of the Old Republic. No real backstory, nothing. But you give him some lines, an actual interaction. A dialogue choice. The way Shepard looks back there and widens his eyes, you would think that they would have done something else, like have some lava show up or something. As it is, the scene is kind of chaotic and messy, and it's really hard to get a sense of what actually is going on. Also, once they're out, it's just like, okay.
Too
phew,
close,
done.
Commander. 10 more seconds, we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
And again, this is one of those things where there's a little bit of a disconnect. Joker's making it sound like the volcano was actively exploding, and that the Normandy was almost gonna be swimming in molten hot magma or lava because it's on the surface. But anyway, he makes it sound like that, which I could buy if it weren't for the whole stopping right outside and okay, we're good. Like, they could have added some background stuff like a jet of lava or something. I don't know, but just one little note.
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
How old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it,
A
but I'm
gentleman
only
never
106.
Damn. I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
Did your research turn up anything interesting?
What is interesting is what I did not turn up. There is remarkably little archaeological evidence of the Protheans, and even less that might explain why they disappeared. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
What cycle? What are you talking about?
The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines. The Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Okay, this isn't helping us find Saren or the conduit.
Of course, you are right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
So this is one of the thoughts that I had was, in order for this to be as tragic as possible for Shepard, we're going to be as nice as possible to every possible crewmate. Now that's going to hit kind of a wall, especially in Mass Effect 2, as the plan I've laid out, there's some loyalty missions I'm not going to do. But on balance, we're going to try to be as friendly with everyone and connect with everyone as much as we possibly can.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander.
Which is only going to make it that much worse when bad things happen.
I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
Go see the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You are free to act as you see fit, Commander. Our role is to offer guidance and advice.
It's up to you if you're smart enough to listen.
I don't need this.
Communications cut, Commander.
That's a line delivery by Joker that I absolutely love. Communication lines cut, Commander. Like, it's wonderful. Seth Green does such a good job in this game. I love it.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I, pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I love using that line, like, what disease are you talking about? I love that because it just drives home the fact that Joker's, and I'm not saying he hasn't earned the right to be a little defensive. I'm sure he's dealt with a lot of shit. But I love getting to that point where he realizes, oh, maybe I'm not being as generous as I should be.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
This I don't like,
yeah, of course
but...
you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
This is one of those areas where, yeah, the conversation, the dialogue choices help you kind of learn about, like, you can't just say Vrolik syndrome, he's got brittle bones, and then just leave it at that. Because players are going to have questions. They're going to be curious. So, yeah, you have to give them an option to ask about it.
I can
but
do my
I don't
job as
like
well
it
as
because
anyone.
it's
I'm not
like...
trying to make you
Whatever you want, Commander.
Because, I mean, obviously he's a helmsman. He's piloting. He's sitting there. He's fine.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy. Even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
Unfortunately, that's about the limit of conversations with Joker in this first game. Other than, can't remember if I got this one or not. Other than, you know, after every mainline mission, he has a little bit of dialogue. Everyone else has a lot more, though.
Commander, do you have a minute?
What's on your mind, Lieutenant?
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. Bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was...
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
A little sidebar here. So, one of the things that I actually really enjoy about Mass Effect, and it's the same thing that I enjoy about Star Trek, it is so deliriously optimistic about humanity. And by that I mean, like, Star Trek had this whole thing, even in the original series. You had Nichelle Nichols, you know, as the communications officer on the bridge. You know, black woman as a bridge officer, which was pretty radical at the time, right? And then you had Walter Koenig playing, you know, Chekhov, who was a Russian officer, which, Cold War, again, kind of unthinkable. And, you know, that kept up through Next Gen, too, where we're just gonna, like, we have Worf, a Klingon, and the Klingons were the bad guys in the original series. And he's going to be a bridge officer now, and we're going to show them making peace with the Klingon Empire a couple times because they kept falling out. But it was relentlessly optimistic about humanity. You know, we don't need money anymore. We work to better ourselves and contribute to society and all this happy nonsense. I call it nonsense because the way humanity is now, I think we can pretty obviously tell it doesn't work. But Mass Effect, to my mind, also follows in that same vein. Yes, there are problems. You know, we'll get into the Terra Firma party and Cerberus and all that. You know, some humans are not quite so generous with their interpretations. But Gagarin Station, the Systems Alliance military. All the militaries of the world kind of combined, and all the governments started to combine when they discovered the Prothean technology. It's a world government. All the governments still maintain their own autonomy on Earth, but as far as the interstellar community, rather, humanity falls under the Systems Alliance military. The Systems Alliance negotiates all the treaties and alliances with other species. They're the overall representatives to the Citadel Council. So, you have Gagarin Station. Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space. It just shows a unity that I don't think is ever actually going to happen. But I like it.
We have to depend on each other in combat. I like knowing what kind of man I have at my back.
You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
But why?
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander.
Again,
thank you.
Scenario where the audience, we know, okay, she's crewmate. Her silhouette was on the, squad selection screen. She's in the promotional material. Obviously, at this point, we know she's in Mass Effect 2 and 3. We know she can be trusted. Why does Shepard believe that? I mean, you can express skepticism, but at this point, you're kind of stuck with her on the ship. And so, I don't know.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
The Asari, I think, are the most fascinating species.
We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
I find them to be one of the most fascinating species in this game because of the whole monogendered thing, but also because for a species where your average lifespan is somewhere around 1,000 years, they're not nearly as wise as they purport themselves to be. And even the individuals, being 1,000 years old, are still just as prone to stupidity as anyone else. And I know that's kind of the whole thing in Mass Effect, is each species is kind of a caricature in a way to show, their flaws with each system. The Solarians are a whole other thing. The Turians are a rigid hierarchy that don't bend. So they end up almost breaking. You know, you've got this indictment of all these systems, you know, as far as the narrative is concerned. But I think the Asari are kind of fascinating in a unique way, because where the Turians or the Solarians or the Krogan or the Hanar, Drell, Volus are all kind of believable in certain ways. You know, they don't have anything that's too crazy out there. The Asari are kind of completely unbelievable. You know, they're monogendered. There is no gender in the Asari. They all look female from the human perspective. You know, they all have breasts, they all have wider hips, all their voices are distinctly female, and they can mate with anyone of any species, any gender. That doesn't make sense. At least I don't think it does. And I tend to think that, you know, our concepts of what life is or what it should be are far too constrained in the, you know, traditional academic senses. You know, scientists are too dismissive of certain things, but they are just fucking bizarre. They're bizarre in a way that it's like, one guy was like, what if we had a species that could mate with anybody? And everyone was like, yeah. Don't know how that works, but we're just gonna do it anyway. Like the Turians, they even talk about, you know, their skin is actually like has thulium in it because it protects them from solar radiation, because their star is extra radiation. And Krogan have that, you know, extra thick skin because their star is also very harsh, and you have a little bit of explanation for everything. The Asari, no real explanation at all. So that's what I mean by that.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
And like, if you did these games and you modded it or just redeveloped it, whatever, you did it so that the Asari legitimately had no sexual characteristics at all. If they looked like the Greys and you gave them just a weird asexual voice and tone, Liara would not be as popular a character as she is. The Asari would not be as popular as they are. Their allure lies strictly in that they are all female. You know, from the human perspective, they're female. They're all female, and they can mate with anyone. If you had a gray alien, you know, the traditional big head, gray skin, big eyes, and it just had a weird, like, asexual voice, you'd be kind of creeped out by this whole thing. You'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? You would do this. You would not... I mean, you might do that, but you would do that first.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
I also want to point out that in the description, you know, she's talking about they can mate with any species. And it's not until talking about the age that she says most sentient species are not as long-lived, which raises the uncomfortable question: is sentience required? Like, I know from an ethical standpoint, right? We're not talking ethics. I think they could have added a line there, like mate with any species that is, that's sufficiently sentient or something. You could have added a line there where you're not going to raise an uncomfortable question about, like, what about a hijacker of Aaron? It's weird, right? I know it's a weird question to even ask, but like I said, I've played this game dozens of times, and eventually you go, you didn't say that before. Why didn't you say that before?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner, though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Also, we're going to go with, mudblood is not offensive here. Pureblood is. So when Malfoy calls himself pureblood, he's insulting himself.
Maybe she wanted to meet you, but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
The Asari are remarkable, aren't they? Can you believe Liara is twice my age?
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission, but he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
And so that's also an interesting point. If you play a Shepard who has biotic abilities, you play one of the biotic classes, there will be references to Shepard being an L2, or an L3, versus Caden's L2. Which is also weird because, they never go into the ages of Alenko or Shepard. I should do some research on that. But either way, it's an interesting note.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
He is lucky.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
something that strikes me about the Normandy SR1. And this is specific to the SR1. You notice you got these cryo pods in the back. You got the sick bay here with a cargo area in the back, storage room in the back. Got some chairs, mess area. You got the CIC upstairs. You know what you don't have? Living quarters. At all. Anywhere on the SR1. Where does everyone sleep? I have no idea. All I can figure is that maybe they sleep in these pods, but you've only got 8 of them. Which, no one's sleeping right now, and there's more than 8 crew members on this ship. I mean, granted, you could say that, like, Rex and Garrus and Tally are downstairs in the cargo bay. Well, Tally's in the engineering bay, but the only living quarters there is the captain's cabin, which is fucking huge, by the way. You got a desk there with a computer, table with 2 chairs, another desk with a computer, and then a bed. And then you've got, 4 little storage cabinet things. It's kind of disgustingly large, really. What they should have done, in my opinion, was design it so that, okay, you come down the stairs, but then there's a door here, and then this goes over here, and then you have this little mess area, but then have a wall here, and then have another door here, and a door here. Just wall off this whole area, and then just have it be a few rows of bunks. Right, and then you have, I mean, you could even bring it back all the way here and just have a door kind of where Caden's at. And then have the captain's cabin be this big. Like where that light is to here. Like that would be a more realistic captain's cabin on a ship this small. Although I'm not in the Navy, so maybe I'm wrong. But it bugs me that there's no place for the crew to sleep.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see.
You bet, Commander.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for
Well, that's
you.
sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no
Rex
story.
is one that we're also going to focus on, like, building a
Go ask the
relationship with.
Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
They tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I will say, if you want a little more background on the First Contact War, other than, you know, the Codex entries in this game, which are fantastic and I highly recommend because all the primary ones are voiced, and even the secondary ones are written really well. But if you want more background on it, Mass Effect Revelation, I think is the book. It covers Anderson's background with Saren, but there's some good stuff in there about the First Contact War.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for
Never
credits?
met one worthy of the term.
They'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
And here we're gonna go to the thing that's gonna frustrate me and it's gonna grate on me. And I'm gonna talk about it again, probably in Mass Effect 2, probably in Mass Effect 3. I don't like Ashley. I don't think she's a good romance option. I don't think she's a good survivor from Vermeer. I don't like Ashley. I vastly prefer Caden.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
Also, I'm gonna say this. The reason I don't like Ashley is not because she's a racist. She's not. She's making a pretty valid point about the fact that this is a secret ship that the Alliance co-developed with the Turians, sure, but it's got a lot of classified technology. Why are we letting people who aren't in the Systems Alliance get free reign around it? That's a valid concern. And no, she doesn't actually do... She's not racist. Dantix did a really good bit in his Shepard Plays series. I'll have to find it again. But he did a really good bit on why she's not actually racist. So, no, the reason I don't like her is nothing to do with her disliking aliens.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You've got a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
You're lucky. I lost my family on Mindoir. Are you related to anyone I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. I read about Mindoir. The Alliance screwed the pooch on that one. Should have had a bigger garrison. Is that why you're out here? To take the fight to the pirates?
No. The future of humanity is out here. There's so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck. He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold breaking.
Don't tell me you had Gunny Ellison. He's the only one I know who uses that word to describe shirking duty.
Oh lord, you went to the Macapag boot camp too? Yeah, Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there. Kicking ass and using words like inveigle and pusillanimous.
Alright, I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization. That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
There's one thing I will say for Ashley is that she's a very well-developed character. She's got a background, she's got family, she's got beliefs, she's got all this stuff. And that's part of old BioWare that I really admire, was when they give a lot of thought to how characters are developed, how conversations go. I mean, it's good stuff. I just don't like her. Yeah.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
And this is an area where I actually think that, we talk about AI. And yeah, AI has limitations. AI analysis of images. But in a future like this, with advanced imaging systems and sensors, well, a visual scan might not actually mean a guy looking out a window. It might mean, okay, we're going to use, instead of radio waves and radars, we're going to use light waves, and we're going to use optical sensors, high resolution optical sensors to pick up a stealth ship. Which, granted, at this point, this is like the first stealth ship invented, so most ships wouldn't have that. But that's something you actually could do, because the Normandy does not have light absorbing coatings, because part of it is white.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
408 experience
Your
just for
ship's
talking.
amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work, mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
and this is another area where, yeah, makes sense if you don't think about it, because single births being a law is actually counter to what you would want. You would want population replacement, which would be for every parent, mother and father, you want 2 kids, because that keeps your population steady, right? You can still have population decline because you can have people, who just can't find a mate, or, die without reproducing, or, whatever. You can still see population decline, but your general rule in a situation like that where, okay, we've got a finite number of ships, we have a finite number of people, we need to maintain our population at its current levels. 2 births. You'd only institute a 1 birth policy if you were actively trying to decrease your numbers. It doesn't make sense. That's why China's having some problems right now, too.
Government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
And this is something that's kind of retconned in Mass Effect 2 and 3. Because later on, what they say is that individual Geth don't actually have consciousness. Individual Geth programs are just that, they're programs. And it's only through the collective consciousness of the Geth that they attain sentience. Legion, they make a big deal out of Legion because Legion always says, we. Legion never refers to itself in the first person. It's always in the third person, because Legion is a collection of 1,000 some runtimes on a single platform. Is 1,000 some odd Geth all running together to form one consciousness. But it's a collective consciousness. So the individual programs are still individual programs, but they're not sentient. So it's kind of a soft retcon. Here it's kind of implied that, yeah, they are sentient, but they get better when there's more. I don't know. It's something I've never really been happy with the explanation on. I like in Mass Effect 2 and 3. It just, this first explanation doesn't really work for me, and I wonder if maybe that could be explained by it's Tali. Tali's.
That doesn't make any sense.
Say it right here.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
So Tali is one of those characters.
I should go.
See you later.
I like Tali. I like her conversations, but most of her conversations there could have been a codex entry, because there's a lot of really good codex entries.
In the early 2160s, the Alliance began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skillian Verge, much to the dismay.
I mean, you got a lot of really good voiced ones and a lot of really good unvoiced codex entries. You know, there's a lot of stuff here. So if you were curious, and I mean, the Quarians even have these codex entries that kind of explain the exact same things that she was just saying. And so I'm not a huge fan of that, but I mean, I like Tali, so I'm fine with it. I think that they could have given her more, or at the very least let the other characters have that, because Rex doesn't give you that same breakdown on Krogan culture. Garrus doesn't give you the exact same breakdown on Turian culture. Like, it is unique to Tali. And I'm not quite sure why that is. Why they spent so much time developing those conversations with Tali. I did say I was going to do this right away because I want to get the specialization.
Message coming in. Patching
Of course.
it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
So this is the Sol system. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. Look, just a little one. Another star system, another planetary system orbiting another star is not a solar system. We live in the solar system because our star is Sol. It is the solar system. That's where the name comes from. So when you have another system orbiting another star, you know, it's that star's name, system. Solar system specifically, like etymologically, refers to our star system, our planetary system around our star. It drives me nuts. I just wanted to put that out there because no one listens to me when I say that crap. But anyway, this mission. Yeah, there's Earth. Oh, that's another thing I love about this game is each planet, there's a wealth of information on it. You can get a little background. There's some really good, like, unique things. But we're gonna go to the moon. We're gonna be whalers on the moon and carry a harpoon. Even if there ain't no whales. So we'll tell tall tales and sing our whaling tune. Even if this mission doesn't really make sense in terms of, like, if you read Mass Effect Revelation, they actually talk about terraforming the moon, which also doesn't make any sense. But oh, there it is. Yes, I'm going to continue to be annoying. Also, I like this helmet better than the one in Mass Effect 2 and 3. I like how narrow the visor is. I don't like Cadence. I don't like it in the other games either. But I like Shepard's helmet here in Mass Effect 1. I mean, look at this cliff face. What other vehicle could climb a cliff this steep other than the Mako? None. Again, mods. Mods add bodies and this icon, which is the Systems Alliance symbol. I love my mods. So the whole point of this mission here is this research and training outpost, and there was a VI, virtual intelligence, different from actual intelligence, artificial intelligence. I keep thinking actual intelligence because that's what Robert Picardo's character said in Small Soldiers, and it's always struck me, or always stuck with me. But anyway, this virtual intelligence, which was in charge of this training ground, somehow gained sentience and took over the entire facility. So that's what we're here to do, is shut it down. I suppose I should have read that. You can go back and pause it. I'm not like reloading the save just to do that. Also, that landing pad, like in the vanilla game, it's just these 3 little buildings. That landing pad is specifically like only in the mod, which makes sense because it's like, okay, well, how would you get here? You'd fly. Where would you land? Just in the middle of the lunar regolith? Probably not. I don't know, it's just a bunch of little things that the mods that I've got add, which just help flesh out the universe. Oh, there we go. This one is really good. This just puts kinetic barriers up in front of all of these and every door. Here we go. Specialization. And that final message that I kind of glossed over because that's just muscle memory for me at this point. As the system is dying, it sends out one final message, which is binary, which is the binary translates to help. As you kill it, that's the last thing that it says is help. But yeah, each class gets a specialization to pick from, and this is the mission you have to do to unlock it. And it will not tell you that. You just have to choose to do this. You can go through the whole game. You can not do this. This is completely optional. You can do all the story missions and never do any of these side missions. But this is the only way to unlock your specialization, which I think was kind of a shitty thing to do. I think they should have just had the specialization unlock at like level 30 or something, but that's me. I picked this because I like doing more damage and ending things faster, which when you're playing on a lower difficulty is the only thing that really matters anyway. But then you can come down here and you can do that. And I'll fill these out eventually too. But yeah, that's where that goes. Yeah, that's the VI mission. That's it. That's all it is. You have to be... I think you have to be like level 20 or 30 to unlock this mission anyway. But, yeah, it'll come up and it won't tell you that this is how it does it. This is how you get your specialization. This is how you unlock the final 6 points for your main class. It won't tell you that. I don't know why I'm going to destroy these things, I just am because I like doing it. I don't think they ever give a reason why these turrets are here. I think they're just kind of implied to be part of the overall training area on this part of Luna. And yes, it's Luna. The moon. Yes, we only have one, but the moon has a name, and it's Luna. I'm also a big fan of calling Earth Terra. I don't know why. It just really appeals to me for some reason, and that's a hill I'm just going to choose to die on. Luna, Terra, Sol. It's not the solar system, it's not the moon, it's Luna. Well, you can use the moon because we only have one, so when you're talking about Earth's moon, I guess it just makes sense, but still. Outside of a context where it's very clear, like, call it Luna. Like, if you have sci-fi and you're talking about Earth's moon, call it Luna, because there's literally millions of moons, billions of moons in this galaxy. So, yeah. gonna go back to the Citadel, because there's always stuff to do in between the main missions. Not always. I shouldn't say that. There's usually stuff to do. Who did we take with us? Take Rex, because I hardly ever take him anywhere. Rex and Ashley.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
And now we're gonna go talk to Rear Admiral Mikhailovich.
Tin Hut!
At
Fuck
ease.
off.
Rear Admiral Mihailovic, 5th Fleet.
Commander Shepard, SSV Normandy.
You don't know who I am, do you, Commander? I command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You and the Normandy were slated for my unit after shakedown. Then the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship and you.
I still serve the Alliance, sir. As a Spectre, I can advance our interests to the Council.
You still know what color your blood is, Shepard?
God,
I don't
this
begrudge
guy.
the politician's decision to throw you to the Council. It's an opportunity. I do begrudge this over-designed piece of tin, though.
This ship saved our lives a dozen times over.
An exaggeration. I've read your reports. This experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, we had to make nice to the Turians, throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
This is one of those things that it doesn't actually affect my goal of having the most tragic Shepard playthrough, because Mikhailovich, he does get mentioned again in Mass Effect 3, but this whole interaction has basically nothing, like it doesn't really affect it at all, at least as far as I could tell. So I'm gonna do this just because I like being able to
Wait here.
talk shit. You can make it as inspection.
Commander, I'm not happy.
Sounds like a fairly common situation.
Commander, I suggest you secure your mouth. It's going to get you in trouble. Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
There are no amateurs on this crew. They know to keep idle chatter minimized during combat, and I can bellow with the best DIs.
A fair point. I suppose the design has no chance of becoming standard. No need to worry about a generation of recruits learning things bass-ackwards. I had to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits of element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
Men of limited vision said the same thing about early aircraft, submarines, and tanks.
There's two ways I could take that, Commander, but that is true. I suppose the early U-boats weren't much better. And we need to talk about your crew, Commander. Krogan? Asari? Turians? What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
Ah, I can't do that. Damn it! Ah, it makes me angry. Because I hate Mikhailovich. I hate him. I hate him so much. He's an ass. He's a dick.
I'm sorry you disapprove, sir.
You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
None, sir.
Very well. Your opinions have some merit, Commander. I'll take them into consideration when I write
I'm
my
gonna
report
look
to
at
the Joint
something
Military
here, quick.
Command. Not that I expect them to do anything about it. Too many interest groups have too much money invested in this. Commander Shepard?
He's such a fucking dickhead, though. Ah. Like, I really don't even know what to say about it, because like, how can you what good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Like, are you a moron? I think you're a moron. Like sorry, I'm looking at my save editor because I want to see if I could just up that, because you could do this, like, you could play through the whole game, you could max your stats, and then you could you go through and play it. You could do a new game plus. You absolutely can do that. Hang on. Oh yeah, there it is. Hang on, I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna do a thing. Player complex. Okay. Okay. Actually, damn, that's not what I should have done. What I should have done was... Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try this. There we go. I think, if I'm right, this should be... Yeah, okay, we're on the Citadel. Okay. See? Easy fix. Now we can go do that conversation the way it should be done. Tell Mikhailovich to shove it up his ass.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Here we go.
At ease. Rear Admiral May and the Council got their paws claws. I don't begrudge the politicians' decision to throw you to the... I'm here to make an inspection. Wait here.
Yes, I'm gonna skip through most of this because we just sat through it. We just sat through it.
Commander, I'm not happy.
Sounds like a fairly common situation.
Except for
Commander,
that, I'm gonna let that go because
sign that CIC.
There are no
You realize
men of limited vision.
What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
I'm Normandy's commanding officer. The regs state I have the authority to say who does and doesn't come aboard. If you disagree, send a complaint up the chain of command.
Sophistry, Commander. You know I'm right. You want them on board that bad? Fine. Don't quote regs at me. You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
We showed the Council something they hadn't thought of with our fighter carriers. You may disapprove of Normandy, but she's just another way we're outthinking them.
That assumes Normandy's technologies can become practical in the future. I'm not convinced Normandy isn't a waste of taxpayer money, but I am convinced that you believe otherwise, and that you'll use it to its best ability. I'll be submitting a report to the Joint Military Council. It will not be as negative as I planned. Good hunting, Commander Shepard. Make us proud.
Ha! Fuck off. Okay, see, that's why I did that. Because I hate him getting the best of me.
A private docking bay. Wonder how much the Alliance had to shell out for this.
In a further development in the Eden Prime investigation, the Council has reportedly revoked the Spectre status of one of its operatives. While the unnamed operative has not yet been apprehended, a Council spokesman confirmed that corrective actions had been taken.
And there we go. There's your view again.
Commander Shepard, sorry to bother you. There is a woman here. She was rescued from Batarian slavers a few weeks ago. She is from Mindwar. I guess she was taken in the raid on your town.
You mean she was taken in the raid that killed my parents?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. She got free somehow, grabbed a gun from one of my guys. Now she's holed up here in the docking bay. She says she wants to die. I hoped you'd talk to her. It's a long shot, but you went through the same thing. The raid. I figured maybe you could talk her out of her tree.
I'm not trained for that, but I'll do what I can.
Anything you could do would be great. I don't want to... she's been through enough. I'll have my men stand by for you.
This is... Okay, so we're talking about the most tragic backstory, right? And it starts with how we pick Shepard's backstory. And the sole survivor colonist, or colonist sole survivor, whatever you want to... That's where it starts. But this is where it starts in-game, as far as, like, we're gonna give him a tragic freaking backstory, because,
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization in...
So, get ready, because this is where the choices to make Shepard's life really horrible are going to start.
Commander, glad to see you.
She's back there?
Yes, sir. Behind those shipping containers. I've got a sniper position, but I don't think we'll need him. She's only a danger to herself. We've got a sedative to calm her down, but we can't get close to her. Every step we take gets her more wound up.
You seem awfully worried about her.
I'm just doing my job, Commander.
I hope I don't need it. Tell your men to stand by.
Don't push her too hard. If she seems liable to pull the trigger, back off, or walk away. I am willing to wait her out. Good luck, Commander.
So yeah, this is where we're gonna have to make bad decisions.
Stop! What are you?
My name is Commander Shepard. I'm an Alliance Marine. I'm here to protect you. What can I call you?
Animals don't get names. The Masters put their symbols on her.
hot metal all over her back. She screams when they do it.
So if it wasn't clear from what Lieutenant Girard was saying, when we picked the colonist backstory, Shepard was born and raised on a colony called Mindwar. When he was young, Batarian slavers raided the colony, killing Shepard's parents and basically the entire colony, or taking the survivors as slaves. How Shepard gets away or survived was kind of left up in the air. But each backstory has a unique interaction. Spacer Shepard meets one of his mother's old coworkers who is now a drunk, who's basically like completely screwed up his life, and you actually talk to Shepard's mom to get some backstory on it. Earthborn Shepard meets up with an old gang affiliate of his. This is Colonist Shepard's unique interaction. This girl, Talitha, she was also a survivor from Mindor. So they were raised on the same colony, and they lost their families in the same raid. But, like I said, this is where we're gonna make Shepard's life as tragic
what
as
those bastards called you.
Possible.
I want your name. The one you were born with.
Talitha. They call her that. She doesn't remember the rest. Leave her alone.
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
No, she's no good. Don't want to be handled again.
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
No, stay back. I remember me. What I was before. But she doesn't want to remember anymore.
So that's not a great thing. But again, we're doing a Tragic Shepard playthrough, and this is really the first thing that you could do where it's like another survivor, the only other survivor that we know of from the attack on the colony Shepard was born on, and she shoots herself like that.
She's gone?
I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I couldn't save her.
No, I understand. I wanted to save her. Stupid, huh? I mean, she was just a transport detail, but to see her so... Right, you've got things to do, and I've got to collect her.
I do think Lieutenant Girard's actor does a good job there. Like, genuinely, I think he does a pretty good job at that scene.
In other news, Exogen Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster.
In other news,
when asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Yeah, so that's going to be the start of... there's more of that to come. Some of it more impactful. Which is not great. I already did mess up one thing, though. Because what I should have done is I should have come talk to Jalid before I talked to Shorban.
Well, no, not exactly.
But it's kind of too late to do that.
And why do you think that? I can't really get into
So I don't actually know
but Shorban will kill me if I
how
leave
this
here
is going to work out.
I can't help you. Not unless you give me something more to go.
Because if I came to talk to Jalid before I talked to Shorban, I could have killed Shorban.
Hey there. Oh,
You're not C-Sec, are you? Did you want something?
What were you trying to explain to the officer before?
My colleague is trying to kill me, and I thought
Although I suppose it could be tragic that they're going to scan the Keepers and they're going to find out the big reveal in 2, but then it's going to turn out that, well, it was too late.
How do you know he wants you dead?
He's changed. He won't talk to me at work anymore, and he started following me. Yesterday, he followed me all the way home, just waiting for a chance. I don't care what anyone thinks. He wants me gone. I know it.
Is there something I can do? Talk to your friend, maybe?
Would you? That's all I want. Someone to talk to him. Tell him to leave me alone. He thinks he can just push me around, but you'll show him, won't you?
Just tell me where he is and I'll go find him.
Oh, right. Well, he wanted to meet with me down in the wards near the markets. He said he just wanted to talk, but I know better. His name's Shorban. He's a Solarian. You shouldn't have any trouble. He's just a scientist.
Shorban. That's the guy who asked us to scan the Keepers.
The Keepers? Well, even more reason to go after him. That's against regulations.
If I find out he's lied to me...
Anything's possible with Shorban these days. Well, good luck.
Hello, Commander.
I like how the reflection of the Turians there. Or all of them. Like the reflection is so far below the floor. Oh boy.
I'm surprised you're willing to fight Krogan, Rex. I thought you would stand with your own.
Anyone who fights us is either stupid or on Saren's payroll. Killing the latter is business. Killing the former is a favor to the universe.
This hallway always reminded me of the one from Resident Evil. I think it's the glass walls.
I need those supplies for my clinic. I can't.
You can and you will, or your story won't stay secret for long. Don't disappoint me, Doctor.
Oh, Commander Shepard. I didn't see you come in.
Every time I come in here, I see someone threatening you. Who was that?
Someone from my past. I can take care of it.
I might be able to help you.
I was fired by my previous employer for giving out free medical supplies to clinics like this. They never filed any charges, they just wanted me to leave without any fuss. But somebody must have found out. Now they are blackmailing me. I have to give them what they want. If the board finds out about my past, I could lose my license. They'll shut my clinic down.
Maybe I can get you out of this. Tell me what they want.
I have to give some of my medical supplies to a merchant in the markets. They expect delivery today.
Give me your contact's name. I'll deal with this guy, whoever he is.
Deal with him? But won't they expose my past?
They won't bother you again. I guarantee it.
I see. Maybe it's better if I don't know anymore. I was told to speak with a merchant named Morlan down in the markets. I really appreciate this, Commander. Thank you.
Let me take a look at what you have
Of
for
course.
sale.
Okay. I don't even know if I'm going to actually do that mission. I just wanted to agree so I get the option. I'm going to do some research on some of these secondary missions later on.
Commander Shepard? Excuse me, Commander Shepard!
Because, to be honest, I've done them so much that I don't really know what the fallout is from not doing them. And that's part of why I decided to do this playthrough, is because there's so many things that you can do that actually do have reactions. There are actual consequences to a lot of these things, like Rex and the genophage in Mass Effect 3. And there's an avenue there that you could do these things, and BioWare, to their credit, actually wrote some really great consequences to certain actions. But a lot of people don't see them. Right? If you only play this game once or twice, and if you play it, like a Paragon, there's only certain things that you're going to see. And I really wanted to do this in a way where it's not that no one knows it exists, but I want to do a series of choices and an overall story that most people probably wouldn't do, because the combination of choices is so specific and it's so unlikely to be done together that I think it's just interesting. Also, speaking of Paragon and Renegade, yes, I got my latest order from BioWare's merch today, and this sweater is fucking amazing. I love it.
Show me what you've got.
There we go.
Commander, I wasn't expecting to see you again. Is there something you want?
Drop the act. I want to know what's going on, Shorban.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. My experiments are...
Quit stalling. Your friend, Jalid, told us about you.
You spoke with Jalid? Then you know about the data?
Just tell me everything you know.
You boys can go. Looks like my plans have changed. It's not as bad as you think, Commander. Jalid and I just got a little over our heads.
Keep talking.
The company we work for developed an experimental procedure for use in medical scanners. Jalid and I saw even more potential, so we stole the plans and secretly developed a tool to scan the Keepers. Can you imagine? A tool that can actually get readings from the Keepers?
What's so special about that?
The Keepers are almost impossible to scan, and you can't capture them or get samples. They just self-destruct. After centuries here, we still don't know anything about them. Don't you see? We were the first to scan them, ever. You've seen it yourself, Commander. You know we can do it.
That doesn't explain why you're trying to kill your partner.
I'm not trying to kill him. Jalid's job was to disseminate our initial findings. But he decided to keep the data for himself. Maybe to sell it. I don't know.
I should kill both of you idiots.
We lost our heads. We just couldn't let an opportunity like this pass us by. Commander, if you'll just continue gathering data for me, imagine what we might learn. And you'll stand to make a bit of a profit yourself, remember?
I think the truly tragic thing, and I'm going to do this just as a post-justification, retroactive justification for completely missing the talking with Jalid first thing. But this is how I'm going to justify it. This is how I'm going to justify it. I'm going to continue doing it. I'm going to get Jalid to work with it, Shorban. Because there is a tragedy in that in Mass Effect 2, you get a message from Shorban, assuming you finish it. You get a message from Shorban saying that they've finished their analysis and they finally figured out exactly, they figured out one of the big reveals here at the end. But it's too late to make any difference.
I suppose a little scanning here and there.
Very good. Maybe if you wouldn't mind speaking with Jalid. The data you're gathering for me is useless if Jalid won't help me analyze it.
If I have time, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And happy scanning, Commander.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorlands. Oh, you will be pleased.
I just couldn't remember who still had upgrades here. Oh,
hey,
there's Conrad.
Shepard, it's me, Conrad Werner. There are rumors on the extranet that you've been made the first human Spectre. That's incredible.
Right. Conrad. We talked a while back.
You remember me? Wow. Even while you're out there kicking ass, you don't forget the rest of us. That says a lot about you, Shepard. Hey, can I get your picture?
Sure. No problem.
Just hold up your gun. Perfect.
I don't know why you take
Thanks
a picture
again,
of him from the
Commander.
back. I
I'm
think
gonna
you
hang
should
this in my
have taken a
living
picture
room.
going this
My
way
wife
from the
will
front.
love it.
Yes, we're going to be nice to Conrad. As weird and obsessive as he is, we're going to be nice to Conrad. Why? Because consequences. Mass Effect 3. You know who we're not going to help? Jenna. You know why? It's tied to the consequences in Mass Effect 3. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, one of the things that mods also add, in the vanilla game you get Asari dancers, and I think that's it here in can't remember the name of the bar. But with this you get Turian and human dancers, and Turian is just hilarious to me. Because, yeah, Turians would have female dancers. Of course they would. We're also not going to help General Septimus or the, consort. Because I just want a Shepard who's got all the worst outcomes, basically. No words of, affirmation from the consort. Wait, no. We're gonna take the long way. There's a keeper to scan. Yeah, this is another thing, is in the vanilla game there's no NPCs here at all.
I haven't spent much time with any Krogan before you, Rex. I have to say, you're not what I expected.
Right. Because you humans have a wide range of cultures and attitudes. But Krogan all think and act exactly alike.
Look, I didn't mean... Just forget I said anything.
Done.
Kind of being a dick there, Rex. Just a little bit.
So how are you liking your posting at the Academy?
It's good. Busy, though. I can't believe how many people you get coming in from the wards.
Yeah, it's the bit...
A Solarian excavation team has run into an unexpected problem after unearthing a Prothean dig site. Hanar protesters have blockaded the dig site, claiming that artifacts of the Enkindlers, as the Hanar call them, should not be disturbed. The excavation team has appealed to Hanar representatives on the Citadel to reach a diplomatic solution.
We're gonna do the jellyfish.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
The CSEC officer is just doing his job. You're causing trouble.
This one is too humble to suggest that the CSEC officer is personally biased. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble.
I don't care about your intent. You're making all Hanar look like troublemaking zealots.
This one does not wish to prejudice the listeners against the Hanar.
You Hanar deserve what you get. You're either too snobbish or too stupid to follow simple rules.
This one will obey. It does not wish to prejudice other species against the Hanar. This one departs now, and will not intrude upon the Presidium again.
The Hanar are an interesting species to me. One, because I actually really like their design. But two, their whole culture is just bizarre. I mean, they find improper speech like super offensive. Super offensive. They have races like the Drell who are kind of almost client species, but not really. But the Drell do things for the Hanar that they aren't really well equipped to do themselves. I mean, they're all just completely obsessed with the Enkindlers as their religion, which is interesting. Like, I like the Hanar. They're an interesting species, but they're very complex.
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Here, for your assistance in this matter. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should report to my superiors.
I'm not going to bother talking with the Petrovskis because your decision doesn't really matter as far as them. And I just think it's better just not to get involved there.
Human Commander. Oh, this one is...
Okay. No upgrades there. Talk to Helena Blake.
Got a moment? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures, but their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
I eliminate them, and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you. You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity. I have no interest in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed. Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
So this is an example of one of those missions where I think getting it set up on stream is good. Doing the final part of it is good. But I'm going to skip over I'm going to set up some of these missions and I'm just going to play offline. One, because I just really enjoy playing this game. But two, because there's not a whole lot there. I'm not playing this for the gameplay specifically. I'm playing it because I like the story and I want to share this whole little tragedy endeavor that I'm on. And so I think that that's a good example of something that I can do on my own to just play the game and not have to worry about streaming it. And because no one will be missing anything. Because you literally just go and eliminate 2 bases with a bunch of enemies in it. Oh yeah, one other thing that I can do while I'm here. Here, Rex.
Excuse me,
Stomp,
Commander
stomp,
Shepard.
stomp.
Could you spare a moment of your time?
No, I cannot.
I heard what happened under the Artemis Tau cluster. The Council wasn't too happy about the destruction of those Prothean ruins.
This isn't a game, Ambassador. Shepard's out there trying to stop Saren from destroying the galaxy.
I know. Just try to be a little more careful. The Council's watching you, and we all get judged on how you behave.
See, that was actually pretty understanding of him. You know, pretty reasonable. Not a complete overreaction like it can be at other points in the game.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment of your time?
Yeah. Something that is worth,
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Safiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you're at... If you have more questions, please access Savina.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
So the reason that I'm talking with her, the reason I'm going to go talk to one other character here on the Presidium is because I forgot they're actually referenced in Mass Effect 2 in a rather tragic way. And it's kind of worth talking about.
Human, delighted, welcome. It is good to meet you.
I love the Elcor. They're awesome. Human, delighted, welcome. Ah, there we go. Yeah, one of the ways you get some of these side missions is you just gotta run around and find data pads or computer consoles or things and just look at them. Ah, here's Nasana Dantius.
Commander Shepard, I am Nasana Dantius. I see you got my message.
You said you had a job offer.
I do. My sister Dahlia is a crewman on the cargo vessel operating out beyond the fringes of the Traverse. Her ship was attacked by privateers. There were no reported survivors.
You want me to hunt down the people who killed her?
This is where it gets complicated. Last week, I received a message with her voice on it. Dahlia is alive. The rest of the crew was killed, but she was taken prisoner. The slavers demanded a huge ransom from me in exchange for returning her unharmed.
Why didn't the raiders kill Dahlia along with everyone else?
My sister probably told them who she was. My family's very wealthy, Shepard. They must have realized she was worth more to them alive.
Do you want me to deliver the ransom?
I've already transferred the funds to the account they specified. Only they never released her. They haven't contacted me since. I've made a terrible mistake, Shepard. I'm a diplomatic emissary. By law, I'm required to report any attempted extortion to CSEC immediately. But I was afraid for Dahlia, so I just paid the ransom. Now she's still missing. And if anyone finds out what I did, I could end up in jail.
You want me to find her and bring her back?
You only need to bring her back. I've already found her for you. I tracked the ransom payment through several accounts. Eventually, it led to a small mercenary band operating out of the Artemis Tau cluster. I need you to go to the Merc base, take them out, and bring my sister back. You shall be well rewarded.
Can't you hire someone else to do this?
I do not want to take chances with my sister's life. I need a Spectre. Besides, you operate outside official channels. My superiors cannot find out I never reported the ransom in the first place.
Don't worry. I'll bring your sister back.
Thank you, Shepard. I knew you were the right man for the job. Come back and see me when the job is done.
So there's one more person on the Presidium I'm going to talk to. Why specifically for that Mass Effect 2 reference?
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment?
No, Samesh. See, I wasn't planning to go into the consort's offices at all, but...
Welcome. I am Nelina. I don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today. Would you like me to see when the consort will be able to meet with you?
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many who seek the consort services. But if you wish to leave your name, she'll make every effort to meet with you.
What do you do here, Nelina?
I'm one of the consort's acolytes. Many of the people here today will not see the consort, but they expect to be attended to just the same. It's our job to ensure that they leave contented.
What exactly do you attend to?
Well, each acolyte has her unique abilities. Some soothe with song, others with conversation. As much as possible, we seek to match the needs of our clients to the skills of our acolytes. My specialty is touch. My fingertips can find every tension point in your body and relieve it.
I'd like to try out your services.
Excellent. I'll add you to our client list. We should be able to see you in 3 or 4 months.
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope you'll return again in the future. We always enjoy seeing new clients.
Nelina.
Yes, Shaira?
Send the commander up to see me. I wish to speak with him.
Yes, of course, mistress. Huh. It appears the consort has taken notice of you. She'd like to meet with you now.
What does she want to see me for?
I don't know. You'll have to ask her yourself. Just head upstairs. She'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I literally came in there to talk to Nelina. I think what I'm gonna try to do is, as much as possible, save what I have to say
Logged.
for
The commanding
later.
officer is aboard.
For when it becomes
Presley stands relieved.
Because I could literally spend 50 hours playing just Mass Effect 1 and just talking about the lore and the consequences of each action as it comes up. But I'm going to try not to do that. What I am going to do for now is I'm going to save and I'm going to call it a night. So, yeah, if you watched all of this, thanks a lot, and